Hello, I'm Adam Cabasicalian with the Office of Strategic Initiatives. I'm glad to be able to present to you today because there are a lot of things that we do in this department that are unique and that are a benefit to the county that a lot of people don't know about. One of the things that's very different about this department over many of the others is that this department, one of the key focuses is to make things better in the future while saving money right now. One of my tasks when I was brought on, right now it's a department of one, but when I was brought on as an analyst for performance and process improvement. I've kept those roles and that hat. I've gotten some additional work that I'll tell you about, but what it means is, in order to keep this job, I need to keep saving money and showing where there's an added value. Coming from a background in a Fortune 500 company in operations and systems, it's a good fit because I understand the decisions that we make have to be good decisions and based on facts and details that we need to think about ahead of time. So that's how I operate the department, and that's how I have to get by. There are three key services from my department, and they primarily serve internal customers. First is to manage special projects and initiatives. Second is the 5-year strategic plan, and third is grants and awards. In the first area, there are four main types of projects and initiatives that I work on. First and foremost is the cost-saving initiatives. These are areas where we can save real dollars both today and in the future, and that we can see those benefits repeat themselves over time. Some of those examples, look at our cell phones. We've saved over $5,000 a year on cell phones. We've reduced how many phones are out there, but we saved most of our money actually in how we purchased a plan. By looking at how it works, we're able to save money. Same thing's true for photocopier maintenance. Most people don't think about that, but there's about $10,000 a year we saved on that. And fuel, another $17,000 a year. So these are the bread and butter projects. There's a dozen more. I won't go into them right now, but that's the first type of project and initiative. The second type are special projects. They're things that have to be done. They don't necessarily fall into one of the traditional departments in the county, but they're equally important. Things such as mandates that get handed down. You look at the radio system, how it operates. Well, we have to modify it. Well, who does that? Well, me. And there's some other projects like that. The census, when that came through, we were trying to work with the federal government to save dollars on that and to increase our count, to make sure we had a complete count within the county, because that drives federal funding for a slew of other things downstream. We don't see it here and now, but it has a real bottom line effect later on. We work with community groups also. The Chamber of Commerce, the Community Alliance, the Path Foundation and Rails to Trails. These are all groups that are doing good works in Camden County, and there's many more. But if we were to operate in a silo and discount the efforts that they had, when truthfully they overlap in some areas, we're able to build synergy. And together, everybody achieves more. We monitor legislative issues. And when I say we, again, it's a department of one, so that's something I've been charged with. And I watch when laws are going through the state legislature each year. We have to see what's going to impact the county. There are lots of mandates. They come from the state and the federal level, and we have to make sure we implement them because there are significant impacts if we do not. And they don't come with a ready out-of-the-box solution. A lot of times we have to look and see, all right, how does this fit in and what do we have to modify? Because every county has some differences. The next area is the 5-year strategic plan. In the 5-year strategic plan, there is an outline for Camden County to get from where we are to where we want to be. And there's 3 key focus areas that the county looks to improve on. The first is growth and development. How well do we balance new growth coming in, existing developments, and the environment? You got to think about these things, and they're reflected in your zoning ordinances and your regulations. So there's been public input through a citizen survey. There's been extensive interviews, which resulted in this plan with a lot of thought and foresight. So we had growth and development. The second part of it is fiscal sustainability. And that's a big part of why I'm here. It's a big part of why Camden County is much more stable right now than many other counties across the state and even in the nation. You hear about bankruptcies in counties, which should be unheard of. Well, it's not. And the reason is, while things were good, this county had begun preparing and doing the things that we need to do to make sure that we don't get in the kind of trouble where you either have to have drastic cuts, face bankruptcy, or raise taxes. And then the third is organizational excellence. For any organization to be successful, whether it's private companies or the government, you got to have the right people in the right positions. So there have been several efforts within the county to make sure that staff is knowledgeable, educated in what they need to do, and focused on customer service to deliver the best value at all levels, not just management, but all the way through the ranks. And one great example is the mandatory customer service training that all of us had to go through to make sure that we had a standard of excellence that we all adhered to. The third part, or the third main deliverable for my department, is grants and awards. Grant funding typically is a diversion of needed services and products where we don't have to pick it up out of tax revenue. It either comes from state or federal levels. Some of the items that we've picked up grants for are things that we were doing anyway. Others are new and improved services. Either way, grants are very important. You wouldn't think they were that hard to write or submit for, but it takes a good bit of knowledge of how we do things, what we're doing, and how the grants need to be written in order to even be competitive. So we've looked to keep an edge on getting as much for Camden County as we can from outside the regular tax base. And then the award submission, which is the other half of that, it's really getting credit where credit's due. Camden County, believe it or not, you may not realize that sitting in this room, but Camden County is an award-winning county. And it's not by accident. It's taken a lot of hard work over the years. Some of the awards are for open government. Part of the reason you're sitting here today is because this government in Camden County has chosen to be inclusive of its residents. Many counties, it's much harder to get an audience to learn about how things work. It's sort of an us versus them mentality rather than we're all working together, the government for the people, by the people. We have won awards for the strategic plan, for the Institute of Organizational Excellence, which is the effort within the strategic plan to make sure that everyone's well equipped to do what they need to do. Suggestions to assist in reduced spending. That's an employee program, asking the employees and rewarding them for offering ideas that increase efficiency and reduce costs. It seems like a no-brainer, but unless we have programs like this set up, we won't find these solutions. And there's several others. One more I want to touch on is called the STEMI program. And that is within our ambulance corps. It's the ability for heart attack victims to have advanced detection and notification to the hospital that they're being driven to of the condition of their heart. And the reason that is so crucially important to those individuals is that it can greatly increase their rate of survival and living without a significant disability the rest of their life from heart damage. And it's something that almost no counties have, but we do. And it was funded through grant opportunities. So I mean, it's these types of things that Camden County is always looking to do to make it a better place, but also to do it in an efficient and operationally sound effort. This department, Office of Strategic Initiatives, we've got many roles. All of them are focused on improvement, both now and in the future. And we'll continue to do that and continue to look for ways to save money while offering a better value proposition to the taxpayers of Camden County. Thank you for your time.